Hello everybody! Now, since my last review, 3 new Zords have been released. And as you can see here, I now have all 3 of them. So, with that said, let's begin the review for the auxiliary Zords for the 2011 Power Rangers Samurai toy line. Let's begin. Now, right away you can see that all 3 come in the same kind of packaging, so I'll just use this one as an example. And again, you can see that it comes in the same packaging style as the rest of this toy line. Right here you have a nice clear plastic window showcasing the Zord and the figure it comes with. More on that later. You have the logos up here, a little description of the toy's feature, and a nice picture of the respective Mega Ranger and their names, with the other guys on the side. On the back, you have a nice layout of the 3 auxiliary Zords for what they will combine into and what they do individually, which I'll get to. And on the other side, you have again another illustration of the same thing, and that's about it. So, with that said, let's open these guys up and see what's inside. Okay, I'm going to choose to start with the Beetlezord right here. Now, as you can see, this is a orange colored Kabuto beetle, or rather it's orange, black with bits of white and silver, and also green for the eyes for here, and this one for a later mode. Okay, so as you can see, it's a rather small beetle, and obviously like the Samurai Megazord, this one had a mold change for Bandai of America. Now, other than just being smaller, they added 2 things that I know of. The legs from the original Kabuto origami was much smaller than this one. They actually increased the leg size, so they actually look like big wings, which helps for its later mode. The second more noticeable part is that with Shinkenger, the main gimmick of that line is you put discs into the toys so you can activate their gimmick. Bandai of America decided not to do that. Instead, what you got was left of the disc right around here. It's nicely embedded into the toy, which I actually like. It looks like an actual beetle. It looks smooth. I love it. But enough about that. So aesthetic wise, we now start getting into its own gimmick. Much like the Kabuto origami, excuse me, the main gimmick is that it can spin its head. How this one activates is by the wheels on the bottom. These 2 are coated in rubber. So you just roll the wheels, and there you go. And you can move it as fast as you want. Much easier to do. Okay, so that's about it for the toy itself. There's not much else you can do other than this, but that's not even, main movement. It kind of comes off. Now, as you may notice, each of the figures come with their own little Mega Ranger figure. This one comes with green Mega Ranger. I guess just to sell the toy more. Now, if you see my Kamen Rider Dragonite bike videos, these figures are pretty much the same as those. It's pretty much stuck in one pose. Nothing moves except for the head. Paint wise, even more paint was taken off of it from the regular figures. But it's worth noting that for the gloves and the sword, compared to the other figure swords, it's actually in a more brighter silver, which I would like if this could come off. It doesn't. Okay, so the purpose of this is just to ride on their Zords. There's a little tab they added here. What you do is, holes on the bottom, you put this one at an angle for this tab, so, and then there's another one right here where you just rest the foot on. And you just the head, and there you have your giant green Mega Ranger riding his Zord. Yeah, that's gonna, just imagine that. It's a lovely image. Okay, so that's about it for the Beetlezord by itself. Now let's get to its combination with the Samurai Megazord. Okay, now the main purpose of the auxiliary Zords is to combine with the main Samurai Megazord toy. Now, here's where things get a little weird, because compared to what we see in the show, Bandai of America decided to do something different, and I'll show you. What you do first is take the helmet off, set it aside. Where this part spins, you're just gonna snap the head off entirely, You're going to split this down the middle. This little bottom horn splits, like so. And since the back of the samurai's head is flat, all you have to do is slide it on. And there you go. And that's pretty much the basis for the Beetle Blaster Megazord, if I got that right. Now here's where things get weird. Originally in Tigerzord, because it was on a disc gimmick, this whole piece would stick onto the back and become pretty much just to spin this around. Bandai America decided to do something different. What they did is that from here, with this piece as is, there's a little tab back here. Pull it down, not all the way. And in either arm, you just slide it in. So. And you got a beetle shield. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Okay, I'm mixed on this. What I do like is that because of the new legs, they actually look like little wings, which helps for the aesthetics of a sword. It actually looks like a little holy shield. What I don't like is pretty much all this kibble in the middle. This, and even this part right here. This feels like an afterthought, pretty much. You know, because this thing came with a shield, well, here's a shield. Only it's not really much of a shield. Though I guess it's passable. Like so. And it pretty much moves okay around. You can move this out of the way to bring it higher. Now, there is a way you can try to recreate the original mode. But what that requires is for some, well, at least rubber bands for these ones. So these ones you get rubber bands you put on the side. And this one you connect on the back. So when you're done, it looks like this. Yeah, this is the closest you're going to get to replicating the original mode, though it looks kind of funny. The head can't spin still, but you can at least close it up, the head, so actually kind of looks like it's going to spin. Or at least a little beetle head. Like so. That's kind of cool. So that's a bit for the official mode. Now let's go for something a little more unofficial, as far as I know. Now, for the beetle itself, you can see that this part here is sticking out like a sore thumb. Most people know it's going to be for a later combination, which I'll show. But this piece here actually can connect to these little connectors. You can see where this is going. What you do is take the legs out, put them aside, disconnect this arm, and reattach it to here. And now you've got a beetle arm. Wow. This is what I prefer for this toy right here. For several reasons. One, compared to the Zord vehicles from last year, what this white piece does is a lot better than what Tigerzord does. That thing is freaking huge on those toys. On here is actually small and actually makes a nice little bridge for an arm. Kind of like these little black pieces on the Samurai Zords, which I actually like. It looks more appealing. The second thing is that you can still activate the drill gimmick by spinning the wheels on the bottom. And you can split open the horn and be more inventive. There, now you got a little Gatling gun. And you can do that. And you can even bring your little fellow along. Isn't that wonderful? This is why I prefer the Beetle. This is why I actually went to get this one first. Because I love it. But yeah, that's something you can try with your Beetlezord. But as far as I know, that's really all it for the Beetlezord, for the Samurai Megazord. Moving on. Next up is the Tigerzord, as we see here. So here's a cute little white tiger, pretty much all white and black, with a bit of gold here and on the legs and tail. Now, compared to the other two Zords, this one's going to stand out, as we'll see. Right away, this one is the only one that has leg articulation. Like so. The reason for this is it goes straight to its gimmick. Now, originally in Shinkenger, what you would do is take a disc, shove it into the bottom, spin it, and all four of these legs would spin like a drill. What Man of America did? Instead of a disc, here is a permanent rubber wheel. And for the spinning action, this is what we get. Yes, only these front legs, only connected to the front, can spin. These back legs are permanently stiff, and they remolded them so they actually have feet. But that means they don't match the legs on the front. I have no idea why Band of America decided to do this. Maybe for something in the future, but for now it just looks awkward for later combinations. But other than that, again, it's rubber, so you can just spin as fast as you want. But that's about it by itself. So let's get our little figure out. This one comes with the red Mega Ranger. Again, it's all one piece. Again, it can only fit, well, I didn't mention before, but it can only fit on one Zord, this one. Though notice that the hands are separate. This hand can actually move. And you can actually take it out and put it somewhere else, if that gives you an idea. So, much like the green Mega Ranger, there's little tabs on the back. Line up the holes. And you get the Red Ranger riding. Now, this one's probably my least favorite for 3 reasons. 1, it looks silly. The Red Ranger's in the back riding the Zord looks like kind of like riding a surfboard on a tail. I don't know if that's done commonly, it just looks weird here. The second thing is that unlike the Beetlezord, this one can't stand up straight because of the way it's made. Especially if this figure is loose and comes off. Which kind of leads into my third problem. Because of the way these are made, the little joints are made, you can never stand this Ranger straight. Right here, it's touching the butt. You can see it's touching the butt's touching the tail of the Tigerzord. If I move it forward, now it's too close. Now it's angling too front. Now it's just looking down. Looks even more awkward. So yeah, I don't like this just for this riding gimmick they added. It doesn't look right here. And yeah, come off. Though you can try and take these legs off and put it in the front, which again looks awkward. And if you try to spin it here, well, let me just show you. Yeah, see, it's not meant to spin. The spinning ones are on the back. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the Tigerzord. So, let's get to his combination. Once again, combination time. Let's begin. First off, you want to take the Samurai's helmet off. I put it back on. Turn it around. You're going to see this piece right behind his head. You just take it out and snap it in place. That's it for that. For the Tigerzord, take off the tail, take off the head, put them aside, turn it upside down so the drills are facing up, and turn it around till you can find this connection point. And from here, whatever legs or drills are here, take them out and put them to the side. It doesn't matter how you put them, so you can rearrange this as you like. I'm just going to put it like this. These two are going to connect here, like so. Alright, turn it around. What's left over, you take this piece, it's going to become the crest for this head. There's a little hole here in the peg. Put it on. And then slide it on the head. And this is the Tiger something Megazord. Yeah, it hasn't debuted yet, so I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, this is it. Okay, and right away, there's definitely some changes. Though they're like less minor. First off is the drill arrangement back here. In Shinkenger and in the show, these two would not be on the back. They would be on the front. because when this thing attacks in the show, it's drilling right towards you. But it's impossible to put the legs here, it's too much of a tight space. And you don't think you get the drill feature neither. Only like these two would do it, and only this one's going to spin. So that's kind of worthless. But besides that, I do like that it's set up this way. I do like it. Because for one, this whole piece is set up in the back. I didn't like that it's pretty much always in the front from the original version. It's right behind the neck. It's just this huge weight right behind it that I didn't like it. So I like it as just more like a nice little piece right behind it. And it holds up pretty well. You know, it's not it's small, it's not too heavy. It looks nice. Another minor complaint, and I guess it will bug some people, is the crest. The thing about this crest is that it's not the right one for this mode. It's for another mode. This mode has this crest, but it's closed up. Now, from the original toy, it could close up and open up. This one, no. Now, the thing is that I know Band of America would probably not do that. But they could have put like a second piece where it was closed. So you can just switch and alternate, or put this with another one. I mean, this one's going to have to come with it. It makes the tail. But, yeah, we're going to have a closed piece for accuracy's sake. Again, that's just a nitpick. It's still a crown. It still works, but it might bug some people. But besides that, that's really about it for this mode. It doesn't do anything else. It just kind of stands there. So it's nice for displaying, but nothing else besides that. Though, for something interesting later on... take this out. Too slow. The arms, or any other connections, can actually go here. See where that comes up later. So, besides that, that's about it for this mode. And last but not least, we now have the Swordfishzord. This one just recently came up in the show, as far as I know. You can see here it's pretty much a blue swordfish, primarily in blue, white, and bits of silver and gold. And it looks pretty similar to the Beetlezord in design. Now, in terms of function, it does have wheels. You can see that. It has rubber, same thing as the Beetlezord. But what it does is, instead of the front, it's more towards the back. I'll show you. Yeah, it can only move its fin. I forget what's called, the back fin, dorsal fin? I forget, sorry. Which is kind of weak, because this reminds me more of the little plastic fish you get from those fake tanks. I'm too reminded of that, especially if I put it up and did that. But other than that, there's really not much else to this. It just does that, so people can pretend this is a fish. Which it is, but you know what I mean. Alright. So, once again, and for the last time, the figure. This one comes with a Mega Blue Ranger. And it's pretty much similar to the Red Ranger because it has a exposed sword, excuse me. But this one actually is in a more nicer pose. So, if you're going to take one off, take this one off. Same one, same connection point as the Beetlezord, except it's on the front instead of the back. So you just connect it here, put it here, adjust it however you want, and roll. Also, if anyone can actually figure out how to roll this better, this way is actually kind of uncomfortable. At least with Beetle we can push from the back. Here, this thing's moving, so... yeah, I don't like it that much. But, other than that, that's really it for the Swordfishzord. Once again, combination time. And once again, there's gonna be a difference. Again, take the samurai helmet off. I did like this part my third time. With the Swordfishzord, take the head off. Flip these two pieces up. Flip this up. And then place it over the samurai's head so it fits. Snap. And there you have the basis for the Swordfishzord Megazord, if that's right. Now, again, much like the Beetlezord, this is where things turn differently. Again, it's supposed to be on the back, but no. Now, when I showed you the Beetlezord's arm, that was the main thing. This one also becomes an arm for this side. Take this out. Take this in. And that's not it. Something else has to be included. The samurai sword. There's a little space here. You put it in. Holds. And that's it. Yeah. It becomes a sword arm. Now, this I have two problems with. First off, the fin back here. It's very loose. I didn't mention, but this is actually a much softer plastic than the rest of the body. So it actually tends to move. It doesn't stay still. It's not locked. The second thing is that the sword itself doesn't go all the way in, only partially. And it's also soft too, so it's also very flimsy. It's flimsy on both sides. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I prefer the Beetlezord's arm, even though that wasn't intended. But yeah, that's about it. The swordfish head, it's okay. I actually rather like this instead, basically because the original was supposed to be the sword on here, which I thought was lame. So this is fine if you want, or just close it up to be more accurate. Now, this is actually reminiscent of another toy I have. Let me go get it. Here you go. Yep, the saber-tooth Tigerzord Zord vehicle from last year. Yeah. Now, here you can see where this part actually comes to play as the aesthetic instead of just sticking on. But this one has a better sword, to be honest. It's more sturdy, actually can touch the ground. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I have opportunity for 2 sword arms. But other than that, that's about it for the Swordfishzord Megazord. Moving on. Now that I've done their individual combinations, it's now time to make their own combination. Let's begin with the Beetlezord. From this guy, this top horn is going to come off. Set aside. As for the feet, the side that's nearest to this connector, take it out and put it aside. On this side, take it out, flip it over, and there's going to be a connector on here. You just connect it to that. That's done. Tigerzord's pretty easy. Take the tail off, take the head off, place it down with this black connector on top, and you're done. You can rearrange the drills if you want. I'm not gonna, but it's up to you. Swordfishzord. Grab the tail, pull it up. This whole part comes apart. Take the other leg part. There's going to be a connector here. Connect it to that. And that's done. So now it's time to put all this together. With this piece, take this crown. There's a hole here. Place it there. And there's a little, where the black connector is, you place it on there. Like so. Tail piece. See where this little hole and this connector is, you're going to place it where these parts are. Like so. Alright. Now this piece connected to this side. This piece connected to here. And this last part's optional if you want, but for here, take this black piece behind the Tigerzord's head, snap it all the way up. On the bottom, this bottom piece right here is going to connect where the Tigerzord's head is, right there. So it's going to be like that. And there you go. And here we have what the instructions call as the Battlewing Megazord, or Battlewing. And right away, it's pretty much faithful of the, what was it, Daitenku? Yeah, I forgot the name, but still, it's very nice. But much smaller, but very nice. Again, I do like that these are more wingish, so like very tiny, which I like. And it's very light. Now, it does roll, but the thing is that this head is not very sturdy, so it ends up doing that. This part spins, but there's nothing there. And for this part, you definitely do need the tiger head on, forgot, because otherwise it just falls flat. So yeah, keep the head on. But other than this, and this being sort of loose, it's a rather nice mode. But now, it's time to combine it with the Samurai Megazord. Come here, you. Now, this is, again, Bandai of America's interpretation of it. Go to the back. Well, first take this off, again. Keep forgetting. Take this connector piece out again. Take this. Now, you can take the tiger's head off. Take the crest off. And whatever drills are here, take them out. Again, doesn't matter. Now this part, and you can probably guess where it's going to go. Snap it right behind here. For the front. Let's see. Take the tiger's head, crest, same as before. Place it on top. And these two, they're going to go right near the legs. There's two of these pegs on either side. Just take whichever drill you have. Snap it on. And that's about it. That is the Battlewing Megazord with Samurai Megazord. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's basically it. This is your reward for collecting all 3 Zords. Now, right away I am mixed about it pretty much. These drills, I do not mind them being here. Originally these drills are supposed to be here. Right about the chest. But I think it kind of ruins it a bit when it's kind of annoying. I didn't like it on the Shinkano. I like them away here. They're away from the main chest. It doesn't clog it up. There's no drill nipples, drill titties. This looks very nice. And again, the back tail is very loose. Now, here's one complaint that I have about this mode, and it's because of the connector. The reason is that for the Tigerzord, the emblem was fine. It was fine being away from the body. The wings here are too high up. They're close to the neck. I'll show you what I mean. Where are you? Yes, the Ninja Mega Falconzord. This should be reminiscent of what we got here. The thing about this guy is that the Falconzord is placed directly in the middle of the chest, so it actually helps aesthetically. This guy, this one's too high up. It's on right next to the neck, which bothers me, as this fly is like flying with wings on your neck. I would have liked it if it was more down here, like there, but then it's kind of in the shadowed away. Again, it's not really that huge. It's not a huge bird. But the trade-off to this is that, again, it can hold itself up, and you can hold it down here, and it's much easier to grip it to fly. Which isn't bad. I can see kids doing this. But, yeah. That's about it for the Battlewing Megazord with Samurai Megazord. So, after everything I've been through so far, what do I think of the way Bandai of America has treated these Zords? How they changed them? Now, I've said a bunch of negative things in this review about them, such as with the Swordfishzord. But, as the end-all decision, I actually like what Bandai of America did this time, and I'll explain why. Now, when I saw Shinkenger with his disc gimmicks, I didn't like it that time. It hindered a lot of the Zords' playability just to put the disc. Bandai of America probably saw this too. With RPM, we had the engine souls changed to this, mainly because they didn't interfere with the toy. It was still playable with or without the chip. With Shinkenger, no, that wasn't the case. They decided to do their own thing this time and added their own gimmick. They added what I think is called the Zord Builder gimmick. And with this, it offered up a lot more playability to these things than what you may think. Especially right here. Here's a custom combo of the, I guess the Battlewing formation, just using all three. Now, you can take that further. If you have the other Zord vehicles, or even better, have the 2010 Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Megazord, the Dino Megazord. And from here, and from all the connections, I can actually make a lot more combinations than I thought. And I had a lot of fun doing them. So I'm going to show you some combinations off right now. Here's a custom Battlewing Megazord with actual gun arms in both Megazord mode and in its bird mode. Using the Tigerzord and a Mastodon arms gives me a 4-armed Megazord. And with the Beetlezords handled, I can make it into a silly little gun. And to some extent, you can use regular Power Ranger figures on these Zords. So yeah, this line, or rather this gimmick, offers a lot more versatility than you may think. I'm thankful for once that I skipped out on the Shinkenger merchandise, because with this and all of this, I can make as much stupid combos as I can, which is good for kids, and it still retains much of the original accuracy of the combinations. I mean, all they really were was just a helmet with a gimmick. You still get the helmet pretty cleanly, pretty faithfully, and you get to do a lot more other stuff. So I'm rather glad that was changed. And the gimmick itself is definitely a good direction for the Bandai of America. You can combine with old Zords, and there'll be new Zords down the line. So the final combination for this is going to be a lot more interesting with what we have here. So yeah, I think the gimmick is good, but what about the toys? Well, individually, on their own, not that well. These guys are mainly here to combine with these guys. So you have to have the Samurai Megazord to really get the full playability with them. If you have to buy one of these, I would recommend the Beetlezord. By itself, and with these guys, it offers a lot more playability and customization for combos. But other than that, not really that much on their own. So that really comes down to the price now. So far, as of this video, these guys have only been found at Toys R Us. I found mine at Toys R Us. And they cost about $16.99 each, which is pretty steep, especially for something with this amount of quality. So you might want to wait if it comes to Walmart or somewhere where it gets cheaper. We'll just have to see. But anyways, that is the end of this review. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.